The purpose of these meetings is to help get everyone on the same page, which is to say the markets page, by virtue of clarifying things or taking the time away from the market to use voice and charts and a whiteboard where we can draw things and answer questions and help clarify your understanding of things. Again, I'm looking down the list of names here. See Donnie P, welcome. Ron W, welcome. Tom, I'm not sure if we got anybody else, but if you're new, glad to have you. So anytime you have any questions at all during this, questions, comments, topics you want me to cover, things you want me to clarify, by all means post them. This is your time. That's why we do these, to get them out in the open and talk about them. Nobody knows you here. Nobody's here to make you feel bad or make fun of you. We're just trying to get questions answered. So nobody else knows you. Heck, I don't even know you. So anyway, we had interesting occurrence or two today in the free trial room, which just bears noting on the general topic. It doesn't really matter because it happens, somewhat regularly, where people come in with their way of doing things. One guy says, I've got 20 years experience. Okay, well, first of all, why are you here? Hopefully because you want to get better at it. Okay, we can help you get better at it, but if you are going to keep doing the same thing that you've been doing, you're going to keep getting the same results that you're getting, which is to say nothing changes, right? Unless you change. Now, the hardest thing we have to do is change the way traders approach the market, change their mindset. I'm not saying, you have to change who you are. I'm not advocating anyone go out and start, holding up banks or running people over with their car. It's not that kind of change. It's about how you think about the market, how you approach the market, how you approach trading. But I would say by and large, probably 95% of the traders that come to the free trial room are not willing to change. They want one piece of the puzzle to interject into their already existing trading scenario or mantra or system or methodology or whatever you want to call it. And it doesn't work that way. It's got more to do with the mindset of making yourself think like the market thinks, as opposed to you looking at the market with your mindset and trying to make heads or tails of it. That's the problem. The market doesn't comport with your mindset. So that's the first thing. So this is a process. It doesn't require, you can't be a dummy and do this, but it doesn't require superior intellect. In fact, oftentimes the people with the higher intellect have the hardest time changing because the market is pretty, let's use the word simple, in terms of the way it lays out information. It's not complicated. It's just that by and large, traders are taught or mistaught, misled, to look under all the wrong rocks. They're following all the wrong things. They're looking in all the wrong places for the answer. So getting you to look in the right places and the right order of events is paramount to being successful at this. I used an analogy in the free trial room that I don't think I've ever used before. I used to say it's like trying to play golf with a pool cue or pool with a golf club. I suppose you could do it, but you're not going to beat anyone doing it. And I said today in the free trial room, it's like playing football on stilts. If you believe that's how it should be done, okay, but the market is the NFL. They're going to say that's really not going to work for you. And you insist on doing it. People say, okay, but you're going to lose every game. In fact, by a lot. The whole idea of trading is not to be right. Now, that's probably contrary to what most people believe. Oh, you have to be right. No, you have to be accurate and flexible because the market can change. So it isn't about click once and hold, which is a common misnomer. It's about get each leg, each segment that you can, do the next thing that the market dictates and change when and as the market dictates. I've got a simple 5-minute chart up here with no indicators with all of the stuff that I posted in 8 o'clock posts this morning. A couple of days ago, I guess Monday, we posted and reiterated yesterday that we could get back to 1905 plus. And that meant 1905, 1905 quarter, 1905 75, ideally, for the last leg up. And then I said the next leg up in 8:02 in 8 o'clock posts at 8:02 this morning. I said next leg up is 1921 at least, and probably 1928 half, 28.75, with 26 half, 3/4 as an interim. Okay, but initially, first target, and we post them in order. It's not either or, it's one at a time. We posted first target, next target up beyond the 575 was 875, then 10, then 21. Okay, what did we say to use this morning? This was today's number, 1903/4. But we said that's probably gone now, meaning we may not even get that far. We said you could use 1902. This is 8 o'clock. This is when post starts, right? So right out of the gate, we said you could use 1902, and next target up is 875. What's that pullback low? 1902, and then right on 830 reports, we had 1 or 2 ticks lower. And what's this probe high? 875. And then after we hit that, we said use 1904. Here's 1904. For 10 plus, won't be that easy on first attempt. North of that will be bonus money for time being. We had a probe up there. And then on that pullback, we said use 1904 again. And from there, we pretty much held on to it. We said 1875 may hold us up a little. Here's 18.5. We gave a trailing pullback scenario, which held, and we got to 21. Imagine that. Then we gave a higher trailing scenario, which held, and we said 21 again. We used that, was slightly a bit higher this time, 1675 over here, and we got to 17/4 for higher, eventually 26 half and 3/4, right? Now, the retail trading mind says, if I just bought and held, okay, great. One, would you be able to, where would you buy? When would you know that? And I'm not talking to anyone. I'm talking about them as a generic mindset, okay? And where would you take it off? Would you be able to hold through all that? Would you be able to hold through these pullbacks? So even if you got it right and you bought there and held for 21 or even the 26.50, okay, not a bad day. However, if you add up the segments, remember, we get paid on the difference between where we bought and where we sold. And it doesn't matter which one we do first. Obviously, if we bought first, then where we sold is where we take profit. If we sell first on sell side, then where we bought back is where we take profit. So if we bought this 1902 with an 875 target, and just say you took profit, a couple ticks in front of that, no problem, okay? And then we rebought 4 for 10, we'll just say 10, not even the extra part, okay, great. And then we rebought 4, maybe you took some there, or for the 21, took some profit in front of that. So let's exclude this guy. But we still had a rebuy here, a rebuy here, a rebuy here, whether you took some profit in the 475 range or not, or 650, we gave another rebuy here with What's that probe low? Oh, that was after it was, no, that one still held. We gave a little bit higher one there. So we had another rebuy in here to get us there. And then this we won't even worry about. So if this is retail trader extraordinaire and they killed it today, they clicked once and they got it right. Okay, we'll give it to them. But if we got this leg and we got this leg, and we'll stack them up because points add up, and we got this leg, and we got this leg, and we got this rebuy, and we get this rebuy, and we get this rebuy. So where does that take us? 58. So it doesn't even matter how many points this is. From 27 to 58 is almost another 20 points. Almost another 20 points doing it our way versus even if the buy and hold trader got it right. What do you think the chances are of them getting it right for all of that? The thing is, this is what we do all day, every day. Okay? So I'm trying to show you this. In the free trial room, you get 2 weeks to sit there and write down everything we say. Some of the people that come just waste their time. They're either trying to do their own thing and casually glance at what we're doing or scan for numbers. They don't read anything. They don't read the website. They don't read the full context of the posts we make, and so they don't get it. And then they get frustrated, like it's our fault, and say, I don't get it. Well, I ask every day, what questions do you have? What can I help clarify? You can't clarify anything. I just don't get it. Okay, you don't really want help, do you? You just want to complain. You just want to argue. I can't help someone like that. Where does that come from? Frustration. Where does the frustration come from? You're not getting what you want out of your trading. Okay, I'm trying to help with that. I didn't cause that. I'm not the problem. But what's going on subconsciously? They're stomping their little feet saying, yeah, but you're not doing it my way. There's a reason I'm not doing it your way. Your way sucks. Let's be honest. You're all adults, right? Your way sucks. Why would I want to do it that lousy way that you do it? And moreover, why would you want to do it the lousy way that you've been doing? Because I like it. Oh, I see. So eventually the market will come around and just see things your way. Get over yourself. You have to make the changes that it takes. And most people aren't willing to make those changes. Okay, but you're not going to make it. You're just not going to make it. How many kids play Little League or Pop Warner football or Pee Wee hockey, right? And how many make it to the NBA or the NFL or the NHL? Right? Millions and millions, tens of millions of kids play Little League. How many guys get brought up to the NBA? What is baseball? MLB? Major League Baseball? I don't know. I'm not a baseball guy or a basketball guy. But, if you think about it, well, they all had the same starting point. Well, did they have the talent and ability? And did they have the passion to stick with it? Right? You know about that movie about Rudy, right? He was 5 feet tall and had no talent, no athletic ability. But they don't make anyone with as much drive as that person. Okay, this is trading. You don't have to get hit by 300-pound guys and, go to therapy for your bruises. You might lose a point or two here and there, but so what? But if you want to benefit from the moves that the market makes, you've got to learn to get on the market's page and do things the way the market does them. It doesn't need your help. It's not interested in your opinion. It doesn't matter what you think or you think you found or what you know or who you think you know. It doesn't care. The market is ruthless. But people would rather lash out at me. Well, you're being mean, or no, I'm not. I'm being truthful. I'm trying to help you. I'm not the one taking your money. The market's taking your money. You want to stop that from happening? Okay, these are the changes you're going to need to make. Stop chasing, stop panicking, stop guessing, stop doing the things you're doing. Take a clean sheet of paper and a deep breath and start over. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. But you can't keep doing them the way that you've been doing them and expect a different result. That's lunacy. We've had some requests here, 2 or 3 that I know of, that admin told me about right before we started this, where we've had some people asking about the transition. When I go to the silver room, what's my game plan? What's my mantra? How do I know when it's time to ramp up, et cetera? I said, okay, so let's take that one step at a time. We talked about it a week or 2 ago in voice, and I would bring it up and spell it out so that you understand how this works. And I also said it was about a 45-minute conversation, so here we go. This is not about, as I've said ad nauseum here, it's not about what you think or feel or believe, nor is it about what happened in the last trade. It doesn't matter if the last trade made you 20 points or lost you 2. It doesn't matter. It has no bearing whatsoever on the outcome of the next trade. Pro traders have a completely different mindset than retail traders do. They've been doing it a while. They're committed to the process. They realize there's no such thing as perfect, but guess what? They just want to know what to do next because it's the only thing that they can participate in. And going backwards and brooding over a trade that didn't work or oogling over a trade that they didn't get or even one that they did get doesn't make them any more money in the future. So it's a mindset, and it's about the ability, if you get anything at all out of these meetings, the single biggest mental challenge for traders, and the thing that separates the men from the boys, or the women from the girls, so to speak, is the ability to cut anything that happened loose. Happened, as in past tense. Cut it loose. Right now, seconds, preferably tenths of seconds. The ability to shorten that pain curve, that brooding curve, that feeling sorry for yourself curve, that anger curve, the shorter you can make that, the better the trader you will be. Again, if you learn nothing else, that is the nugget right there that you want for your psychology. Okay. Additionally, trading well is about being accurate and staying flexible, as I said earlier. Being accurate means leaning on the levels that the market has given us. We don't use indicators. Everything we post comes from the market. I don't make this stuff up. The market does. Somebody said in free trial room, oh, it's a 21.75 previous high. That's easy. Dude, it's got nothing to do with that. It's got nothing to do with that. We posted 21. I never said anything about 21.75. Here's 21.75. Here are my crosshairs right there. Show me where the market used that at all. It didn't. Okay, so it's meaningless. It's simple. It's easy to see. Yeah, so simple a caveman could see it. So simple a caveman could do it, right? That's so juvenile. It doesn't work like that. The market is so much smarter than that. And it baits the gullible traders into believing that that's meaningful. If you waited for that, you either A, didn't get filled, B, lost, or C, missed it. Because that's not how the market works. Okay? So what we're trying to do is get you to first trust the market a little bit by virtue of seeing it. Now, we go to great lengths to spell out starting with the trading pad section on the website at leadingedgetrading.com. The trading pad section, which is to say you should have a dedicated pad for your trading, preferably spiral bound, where you can refer back a few days if needed, but where you start with a clean sheet of paper every day and you write down the posts. Why write down? I don't mean scan for numbers. Again, that's a juvenile approach. We are trading the story, the description, of market behavior, what we can expect, order of events, what's going to come into play, what do we need, what are we waiting for, what is the market waiting for, etc., for this, that, or the other thing. So we are trading the story. We want to put the story in the bank as it unfolds. Again, I can't stress this enough. Pro traders trade. Retail traders watch, wonder, speculate, rationalize, reason away. I don't know. Let me think about that. What is there to think about? And what does your thought input have to do with influencing the market or the likelihood of the outcome of that trade? None. Zero. Nada. Bupkis, as we like to say. So what is there to think about? It's just your own, stroking your own ego inside your own head. That is the worst place for your trading to occur, in your head. The market operates on different rationale, and therefore all you're going to do is make it worse, not better. I've never met a trader that could rationalize things in their head and outperform the market. I've never met a trader that could rationalize things like that in their head and even meet the market and what it has mapped out it would do. So if it can't beat it and it can't even meet it, why would you do it? Because it feels good, makes me feel better, makes me feel more important, makes me feel more engaged. Yeah. Are you here to feel good or are you here to make money? Because I got news for you. Trading well doesn't feel good. Feels good afterwards, when you get the benefit of the results. But if you're waiting for it to be comfortable, for it to feel right and feel good, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life and you'll never be fulfilled. It doesn't work that way. This is not easy. We can lay it out in simple terms from here to there all day, every day. But it's not going to feel right, especially if you're trying to bring it onto your terms, meaning you're not going to take the trade until it feels right to you. Well, la-di-da for you. It doesn't need to feel right to you. It only needs to feel right to the market. Yeah, but I don't like it. Well, the market's not asking for your permission to like it. Got it? Okay. That's the toughest pill to swallow for most traders. Okay. So in order to get comfortable with that, that is a process. That is a process that takes time, that requires seeing a lot of examples. So in order to condition traders for that mindset, right out of the gate, right from the beginning, we try to get them to read the stuff on the website because we do things differently. You may have heard some of the same terms, but if you're using them in the conventional way, you're going to be confused because we don't often do anything conventional because conventional sucks. Conventional got you the results that you've had so far. How has that been? You have your own airplane yet? Your own jet? Come on. Okay, so in order to change that, you've got to A, recognize that that's probably not getting you where you want to be. B, map out those changes, and C, follow them. Okay, sounds simple enough. Not easy. It's simple because it's not complicated. Therefore, it's simple. But I never said easy. We never use that word easy. Trading is not easy. Is not. It becomes easier the less attached to your own ego you are, the more flexible you are, the more matter-of-fact you are. So that takes some time. You have to see enough examples. Okay. So we start you with the trading pad, which is to say, take a lot of notes. Write down everything we say. Eventually, over time, you'll come up with your own shorthand stuff. Way to shorten those with your own little symbols, and I'm cool with that. I'm fine. But I don't want you typing it in your computer. That doesn't teach you anything. You will forget it. I could give you a sentence to type in Portuguese, and if you wrote it down and we discussed what it meant, you'd own it. But if I gave it to you to type, it'd be like typing numbers, right? Bon dia? What is that? It's bon dia. What is it? Good day. Okay. Oh, that's easy enough. Oh, that makes sense, right? Right? But if I just gave it to you and you typed it in your computer, it would have zero meaning. It wouldn't hold in your brain at all. Writing it down, I know it's so archaic, is the best way to take information from a visual screen and put it in your brain so you can start chewing on it. What part do I want? You just said not to rationalize. There's a difference between chewing on that data and rationalizing it. And that is to say, how far away is that target? From 902 to 875, the first target, 6 3/4 points. Okay, so you can automatically say, if I take a point or so risk for a 6 3/4 point target, I got 6 3/4 to 1 reward to risk ratio. Okay, that's not rationalizing it. Let me see. I don't know. Let me see if I should do that. Let me think about that some more. That's rationalizing. That will never get you anywhere, because you don't need to grant the market permission to make that move. Market's already decided. You have two choices, and two choices only. Do it, don't do it. Those are it. The more you think about it doesn't make the decision more valid. It just gets you further wrapped around the axle mentally, psychologically. Okay. So we want you to take notes and write that stuff down on your pad. Then transpose those notes, the levels posted, so you've got the story. Well, it's just numbers. Okay, wait a minute. Are the numbers above us or below us? I never posted any sell-side scenario all day today, did I? Why? Because the market didn't give us one. Imagine that. Okay, so the whole idea is, if you're reading the story, mapping out those levels, putting the levels on your screen, you should start to see it. Now, if you did what we suggested and put these levels on, I gave this one at 8. I didn't give this one till it was before the open, but I was on this pullback, but closer to the open, this 1904. But I gave the 875. I gave the 10. I gave the 1921 and the 2875 half at 802. I still have the post on my screen. I'm looking right at it. Bigger picture, paren, if nothing changes and big money feels comfortable with this last leg up, getting the market back north of 1900 and staying there, then 1921, 1928, half 75, not impossible next few days. I wasn't sure if we'd get that today because it depended upon the Mo, but it was out there. It was a game plan. It was our target. Okay, so if you had these levels starting at 8, posted at 8, the 1902, the 875, the 10, the 21, the 26 half, 3/4, etc., and then as we got into the morning, using this one, using this one, using this one, using this one, as they came up, it almost looks like you put those lines on afterwards, doesn't it? It looks like, oh, you're just putting lines on the highs and lows. No. We had those ahead of time. We had lines extending out into the future before price ever got there, right? That's what I want you to see. So the conditioning part comes from doing that every day, from realizing that's part of my job, that's my work, that's what I have to do. If you work anywhere, if you could be the top salesman at a Ferrari store, ooh, dream job. Don't you have to fill out paperwork in order to get paid? I just want to sell Ferraris. I don't want to do any paperwork. Well, then you're not going to get paid. Right? So people say, well, I don't want to do that. That's a lot of work. Okay, then do you want to be in sync? Do you want to get this? Do you want to? Okay, I can't make one happen without the other. I just can't. It's just got to be, if you want to get in sync, that's how you need to get in sync. But if you do that, you will be so much more in sync. I can tell you now, without exception, the people that do this get it. I don't know if there's anybody that's not doing it that's getting it, but where's the problem? What else do you have to do? In any endeavor that you want to make a lot of money at, if you want to be a pro skier or a pro hockey player or a pro race car driver, there's going to be things that you have to do that you never dreamed you'd have to do and that you really don't care to do and that have nothing to do with skiing or playing hockey or driving race cars. Trust me, I know. I've done it. You have to take airline flights and make appearances and raise money from sponsors and do this and have these signing things where you sign autographs and do all this other crap and support work and work at hospitals with kids and the charities that you represent. I've done all that. What did that have to do with my endeavor? Nothing. I had to have a dietary coach. I had to have a cardio coach. I had to do different exercises than I ever had imagined I would have to do, all necessary. I don't want to do that. Okay, then suck at your endeavor, right? Why don't you just embrace it? Embrace the suck, if you will, okay? So the first phase of being in sync with the market is writing this stuff down and putting those lines on your chart. Seeing enough examples of that should convince you that the market isn't random, that the market does have logic, that the market can be trusted. Okay. Having done that for a while, you will start to see and hopefully get in sync. We typically say, it takes at least 3 days to just start seeing things because we do things so much differently than most of the trading world does them. But we do them the way the market does them, which is why most of the trading world loses. It doesn't make any money. Okay. In order to be able to trade the posts, you have to understand the posts, frontwards, backwards, and inside out. In order to understand the posts, you have to have done this part, the note-taking, the putting lines on the screen, and seeing how the market behaves. Now, one other earlier conversation we had in the free trial room was a misunderstanding about stop. So you put your stop here. That's what your trailing means. I go, no. Well, that's what trailing means. I go, that's what it may mean to you, but that's not what we do. Well, why would you do it that way? Well, wait a minute. The question is, why would you do it the way you've been doing it? You've already told us you've been doing this for 20 years and you don't really make any money, right? I mean, think about that. Isn't that silly? You're going to defend something that isn't making you money because you've been doing it for X number of years? I don't care if you've been doing it for 200 years. If it's not working, isn't it time to change? Okay. So we do things differently, but you need to understand what that is. And it's not my way of doing things. It's the market's way of doing things. So the people that fight it are already telling us, I don't want to do it the market's way. I want to do it my way. Okay, so you want to lose. No, I want to win. Okay, but the market doesn't operate that way. You're going to have to change to how the market does operate. I don't want to change. I like doing it my way. Are you making any money doing it? No. Do you want to win? Yes. Well, then you're going to have to change. I don't want to change. I like doing it. See, it's an endless circle, right? What's the problem with changing just a little bit? You don't have to change who you are, but I'm trying to get you on the market's page. It's not the market's job to get on your page. Okay. So we talk oftentimes about making a proper transition. Most traders have no clue what to do, how to do it. They don't know how to demo trade. Oh, yeah, they treat it like entertainment. Oh, let's just see how much I would have made if I was trading a 50 lot. Are you going to trade a 50 lot? Do you have a six-figure account? Well, no, I've got $2,600 in my. Then what business do you have of playing with a 50 lot? You're out of your mind. It's not realistic. You're not going to do that live. So basically, you're just humoring yourself. Get a video game after the market closes. You want to get this for real? Okay, here's how. You need to treat everything the way it truly is and the way you're truly going to interact with the market, which is to say, realistically. Trading well is about being accurate, being flexible, and having the discipline to do your job. Everyone wants the results. Nobody wants to do what they have to do, right? We say that all the time. Everyone wants to be a doctor and get the accolades from the family for saving their family member and walk around with the smock and the stethoscope and get the accolades. Oh, doctor. Oh, doctor. And in the country club, oh, doctor. Oh, he's a doctor, right? I know plenty of doctors that introduce themselves as doctor. There's a guy who's a sports announcer for race cars, for IndyCar. Dr. Jerry Punch. Okay, you got a microphone in your hand and you're walking around in a Nomex flame retardant suit, sticking a mic in people and asking them about their lap times. What is that? How does that require your doctorate's degree? I'm just dying to know, okay? And it's no slam against doctors. I have the highest respect for doctors. But when you take that into the market, you're putting yourself behind the 8 ball. You're not that important. The market is important. The market makes the rules, and we are just a participant. We have to have the discipline to do our job, which is to say, put them on where we're supposed to, take them off where we're supposed to. That takes time. That takes building good habits. So we view demo trading as a stepping stone in building those habits to confirm that A, you understand the posts frontwards, backwards, inside out, and B, you have the discipline to do your job, which is to say, put them on where you're supposed to, take them off where you're supposed to. Period. End of story. Don't get cute. Don't try to say, well, this one I'm going to do that. Well, where's your this one indicator? Because I don't have one of those. That's what you have to shut off. You cannot, will not, ever be able to outperform the posts because the posts come from the market and you can't get more from the market than the market gives. And I'm talking about moves from here to there. You can always make more money by trading more size for those same moves, but you can't get more move out of the move than the move moves. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So what we're trying to do here is, and this is the long path, everyone wants the quick fix, take a pill, go get surgery and get that unwanted fat removed in a 1-hour liposuction, and you could be dancing in a size 4 by later today, right? It's not realistic. That's cosmetic, and they call it cosmetic for a reason. It doesn't change who you are. It doesn't change what you do, what you believe, or how you behave, right? That's what people want from the market, and it's not real. This is a long, arduous process, and the more you fight it, and the more you play games with it, the longer it takes. If you relent, which is to say put your ego on the shelf and just do your job, you will see that if you just did what was posted, you would have killed it. Why didn't you? The answer universally is, well, I thought this, or I didn't think it would do that, or whatever the case may be, but when you cut it all the way, it's the same thing. Trying to outthink the market. Ain't going to happen. Just won't work. So here's how this works. In order to trade the posts, you need to be able to understand everything posted, frontwards, backwards, inside out, as we said. In order to understand it, you've got to see it. So first step is trading pad, take good notes, put the lines on your screen, and observe how the market behaves. Observe how it uses these levels. Where's the big risk? In pretty much anything here, where's the big risk? I don't mean auto fade anything. We don't auto anything. The market dictates what we do, and we never gave one sell side trade today because it didn't say to. It was going higher. Okay. Once you've got that and you've been taking notes, your job on your notepad in the far right column on the trading pad section is to say my action would be. So let's say we said you can buy 1902. and so you might buy up against it, 1902.50. What if it's already trading at 1902 when I post that? Well, buy 1902, 1902 and a quarter. Okay, so what would your action be? B 2.00, B 2.25, whatever you did, okay? And first target up here, 875, TP or TSP, 8 quarter. Perfect. Use 1904. B, 1904 and a half. 1910 is next target. On the way up, it's even north of 10. Okay, so TSP, 1910. Use 1904 again. B, 450. Okay, this way, before you're wasting your time looking at a demo screen, you're realizing this is my action. And you should be writing it down before it happens. This is what I would be doing. And then after, seems like you're in sync, then demo trading is to put it to the test. Not to play, not to humor yourself, not to be doing it for the next 6 months until you get it. Your demo trading should only happen when you're ready to put it to the test. Do I get it? Then, and only then, open a demo account. If you don't have a broker, you want a better one or another one, or want to get a good rate or account from, admin can tell you. She can help you with that. Open a demo account, and you're going to be trading a one lot. A one lot is the hardest thing to trade because you have very few options. You can't take some off and hold some. You can't pare down a one lot. You pare down a one lot to 0. That's it. That's all you got. But that's what makes it harder because you don't get the bigger runs, but that's just part of the process. If you can't make money with a one lot, you're not going to make money with 100 lots. Because if you're not making money with a one lot, you're doing it wrong. You're putting them on the wrong place. You're giving them too much room. You're cherry picking your trades, etc. So it starts with the entry, getting the entry right. Now, oftentimes we post a TSP. If you've read on the website anywhere, TSP means take some profit, at which time, if you were trading multiple contracts, you would pair some out and ride the rest where they break even stop on the initial entry remaining balance. So with a one lot, you can't pair anything out. You have to take it off at first TSP. That's your job because that's what you would be doing if you were trading multiple size lots on each entry. Now you can re-enter and take some profit. Comes back to the same thing. If nothing changed, yeah, re-enter. It's about doing your job, getting accustomed to, without passion or prejudice, doing your job, putting them on where you're supposed to, taking them off where you're supposed to. But if you can't get the entry right, or if you hesitate, or if your brain says, let me think about that, I don't know, then you're not doing your job. It doesn't require you thinking or you knowing or you rationalizing. It requires doing. This is about part of the building the good habits scenario. Okay, so your job is to put them on where you're supposed to, take that one lot off at first TSP, and then do the next one. Even then, you should be doing fine. Excuse me. Your job, though, as the day goes on, the day can change, and people get tired. It's understandable. You get more lax, either get goofier or punchy, or you get tired, or you get more lax, or whatever. Your attentiveness wanes over the course of the day. It's just natural, it's normal. You have to have the discipline, though, to not turn morning green into afternoon red. You have to shut it off and have the discipline to stop so that you can prove to yourself that you've got good discipline. Because the benefit here from trading and trading well is trading size. You don't make money sitting there more hours. You don't make money getting a few extra ticks here and there. You don't make money trying to slide a few extra trades in. You make money trading size. Well, the only way you can trade size is if you trust the market and you trust your ability to do what you're supposed to do, i.e. put them on where you're supposed to, take them off where you're supposed to. And those are the habits we're trying to build. The ability to control yourself enough to stop, let's say, trading a one lot, and usually by this time of the day I have $350 or more. Well, how much do you have now? 75. Well, maybe you should stop, because how much risk can you take before you go negative? A point, point and a quarter, because at a point and a half you're back to even, and trading costs, you're going to be negative, right? So you have to weigh that. You have to assess that. You don't just click for the sake of amusement. You click for a purpose. If you can maintain that discipline and do your job, put them on where you're supposed to, take them off where you're supposed to, for 10 days straight, green every day, that's something. That is the hardest hurdle, and you've graduated. You've graduated now to where you can trade 3 lots. Trading 3 lots is a fair bit harder, but it's sort of the gateway to what we do and how we do it. It's the training wheels version. It's trickier because it requires more mechanics. I am a huge advocate of opening 3 domes. Not every execution platform calls them that. Depth of market, or price ladders, execution windows, whatever you want to call them. I say you open 3. Not initially, not when you're trading 1. When you're trading 1, you only need 1. Put it on, take it off. Okay. But when the market goes 3 points or so in our favor, or first TSP, whichever happens first, you can go with a BE stop. That's fine. There's no sense in giving that back. So 3 points or so, I mean, if it's 275, I'm not going to, whatever. I don't split hairs. I never quabble over this tick or that tick. But 3 points or so in your favor, put a BE stop on there. I got no problem with that. Or first TSP, whatever happens first. First TSP might not be till 5.5 points away. And there you go. So it isn't your determination, it's the market's determination. But at 3 points or so, if it's already gone 3 points or so in our favor, fine, protect it. That's fine. Now you're free to just focus on what the market's doing and not let your mind run away from you, because that's obviously the biggest problem. Okay, aside from that, you have to take it off at first TSP and not some set number, because the market dictates what that level is, not me, not some system, not some software, not some predetermined calculation or anything like that. The market determines that. Obviously, we have to take trades off here and there. I don't know that we took any off today, but obviously we have to take trades off every now and then when that isn't the level, or it's reversing, breaking out, breaking down, whatever the case may be. I'm fine with that. That's got no problem. But other than that, show me a trade that doesn't make it at least to first TSP. I'll wait. Well, I won't wait, because we'll be here for a month because you won't find one, because it doesn't happen. If a trade doesn't work, it doesn't work. Doesn't matter what your entry is, doesn't matter how much you want it, doesn't matter where you stop, it doesn't matter. We don't want it anymore, take it off. Just take it off and cut it loose, like we said earlier. But any trade that doesn't change on us will make it to first TSP. So it's the safest part of the trade. So if you were to say to me, I'm a 5-lot trader, let's say, hypothetically, okay? You say to me, I'm a 5-lot trader. I'm comfortable with 5 lots. I got plenty of money in my account. 5 lots doesn't fluster me. I'm good. I'm cool. I'm okay with 5 lot. Great. I want to make you a 15-lot trader then. Ooh, scary. No, it's not. The 5-lot part is the scary part, not the 10-lot part. You put them on where you're supposed to. If you put on a 5-lot and it works, or you put on a 15-lot and it works, what's the problem? Well, what if it doesn't work? Then you got to take it off. but we're not going to have 5 or 8 of those in a row. We might have, on average, 1 a day. Some days we may have 3. Some days we don't have any. I don't think we have any today that we had to take off, right? But the point is that if you put on 15 and pair out 10 at first TSP, you've already put that chunk in the bank. Now you've got a BE stop on your 5 lot, and you could run it to the first target, the first logical target, first normal target. Does that make sense? Okay, so to train for that, we use a 3 lot, still in demo, is to get good at that process so that later we can ramp up. The whole idea is getting good at putting them on where we're supposed to with a 1 lot, taking it off at first TSP is the training wheels for putting them on a 3 lot or bigger. Eventually it'll be things that are multiples of 3, preferably things that are multiples of 5, and most preferably things that are multiples of 3 and 5. So really, in my humble opinion, the threshold for pro trading is 30 contracts. And sort of the junior varsity of that would be 15 contracts. But we can ramp up to that. 3, then maybe 6 or 9, and then, ramping up higher. But it's a stepping stone process. So in order to get practice for that, because there's more mechanics involved with you physically clicking here and there, so that's why we say open 3 domes, for example. Side by side, I'm a big advocate of using all the screen space you have. So if you open them through, I'm just making a slight differentiation in here, but they would be touching. I don't like to leave 1 millimeter of screen space unused, but just for illustrative purposes. So this one would be set to 3, this one would be set to 2, and this one would be set to 1. So here is where you would put on the initial trade with the one that's set to 2. Here's where you pair out at first TSP, and this is the balance. This is the one remaining for the ultimate target. So when you click on 3, you put them on. When you get to first TSP, you click here and take off 2, and then you put a stop on the remaining 1 at BE. And that's also where you would take it off. Any new trades, you start again with a 3, pair out 2 at first TSP for that trade, put a BE stop on that one. And you may have, let's say you bought 3 down here, and you pair out 2 here. You still got 1 on with a break-even stop. Then you put on 3 more here. Then you take off 2. But it came back and took me out. Yeah, it took out that one, so you don't have that one anymore. So you didn't make anything on that one, but you made this run on 2. And you made this run on 2, and you still have that one with a break-even stop. And you put this one on, and I think we gave a TSP here, so you took off 2, still have a break-even on 1 here, and a break-even on 1 here, and you're riding it. And then we had a re-up here, so you put on 3, took off 2, break even on this, break even on this. Well, that was 21, so we might have taken all of that off. So you got a whole run on that one, most of the run on that one, and the run on that. And then you re-up that one, TSP here, re-up here. See that? So you're maximizing. Now, anybody can bring me one scenario with a woulda, coulda, shoulda. The problem is, you never know which woulda, coulda, shoulda. You should have done which thing that time, but also woulda, coulda, shoulda was about the one thing, not the always. I want to concentrate on the 90 or 95% of the time and not worry about the 1, 2, 3, or 4% of the time that we have to take them off, or the 1% of the time that the market does something because of a news spike or whatever. That'll take care of itself. Worry about the 90 or 95% of the time. And if you do this all day, every day, one, it gets to be habitual. And two, you realize, you know what, there really isn't a better way as a pro trader to maximize each segment, each leg, each individual segment that's available to me all day, every day, especially if it's range bound. Retail traders love a market that trades one way up. Why? Because it's easy. Well, the market's not here to be easy. I would much rather have a day with 20-point swings, and we grab 5 of those, make 100 points in one day. But the range was only 20. Well, that's because you did it your way, and you have to get it right. If you don't get it right, you're screwed, right? All we have to do is do our job. So initially, trading a one lot. Put it on where you're supposed to. Take it off at first TSP. Any new trade is a new trade. Put a new one on, take it off at first TSP. Put a new one on, take it off at first TSP. When you've done that 10 days of green successfully, then you can go to a 3 lot in demo. Put on 3, take off 2 at first TSP, BE stop on the remaining 1. Any new trades, put on another 3, take off 2 at first TSP, BE on the 1. When we get to a target, a logical, bigger, hard target that we've mapped out early on, or if we say should TSP or conservatives should take profit, then you take them all off and start over. Maybe we're going the other way now, or whatever the case may be, right? When you can do that successfully, profitably 10 days in a row, now you're ready to start trading live. And when you start trading live, you start with a one lot. Yes, I know, arduous, painful. I'm not making so much. I'm leaving all this on the table. Well, unless you were born today, you're not really missing anything. You've been doing it wrong how many years now? Okay, so a couple of weeks here and there is not going to change your life in the big scope of things. It's about building good habits and doing it right from the outset, which is going to be contrary to what you think, feel, want, and believe. For some of you, it's going to be contrary to every fiber in your being. That's where the change happens, though. That's what's necessary. Show me where we were wrong. Show me where we didn't map it out specifically ahead of time. You can't. Why? Because it's not real. What is real? I mean, the belief system. What I'm saying is, we get to so far 28, been to 28. We said if we get back above 675 again, we'll still get to 28.5, 28 and 3/4. It's about changing your interaction with the market from what you've been doing, which is trading off of what you think, feel, want, and believe, to trading what the market is saying and giving and accepting that on its face. And I promise you, you won't outperform the posts. So your job at the end of the day is to go back and review the posts, review your notes. What did it say? And what did you do? Your job is to make your trades emulate as closely as possible what's been posted. Now, I'm not perfect. I don't profess to be perfect. I make mistakes. I miss things. I get things wrong from time to time. But you'll find it's pretty rare. But trading success isn't measured by any one trade, nor is it measured by any one day. Even measuring things on the week is kind of a small scale. So, for example, do you remember what you did last Wednesday? I don't, unless I look, but I know it was green, right? Same thing will be true about this Wednesday, next Wednesday. It doesn't matter. It's just a job. You don't get paid extra for being right. Oh, I had that. Okay. Do it again. Because isn't that the acid test for anything of substance? Right? Well, there's two. Did you get it? Well, so the answer is no. You didn't get it. You didn't believe it in enough to get it. Right? That's what we see in college kids. They are incredibly passionate about things they don't know the first thing about, right? That reminds me of a lot of retail traders. Well, I do it this way. Okay, but the market doesn't do it that way. I'm not here to berate you. I'm trying to show you this is how it does work. Okay? All right, so the process then, just to review quickly, is taking notes, writing on your pad what your action would be, obviously putting the levels on the chart, and observing it. I don't mean just casually glance at it. I mean observe it. That friggin' line was hit spot on, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, because that's the building of trust that takes time. Then when you think you or feel like you do get all of the posts, frontwards, backwards, inside out, and you're ready to put it to the test, and you've documented on your pad that your action would be in accordance with the posts, then it's time to put it to the test by demo trading. Demo trade a one lot. Don't try to cherry pick. Don't try to make it better. Your job is to just do what does it say, and that is what you should do. Put them on where you're supposed to, take profit at first TSP, and repeat. Your job is to go home green 10 days in a row, which shows good discipline, that you're building good habits. And I know the trading of the one lot in demo will annoy the crap out of you. And that's part of the test. That's part of the problem. Do you have the discipline to go on? Because if you can't do that, then you don't really deserve to go on. You're only going to do more damage. Right? A scalpel in a gifted surgeon's hands can perform miracles, but you wouldn't let a 2-year-old play with it. Same tool, just a question of ability, experience, maturity. That's what you got to do. You got to build that muscle. So trade a one lot 10 days in a row, green 10 days, then go to a 3 lot. Go to a 3 lot 10 days in a row. You make a mistake, own up to it, recognize it, can ask questions during the day or in these voice chats, and we'll help you. It's going to flush out some problems. It's going to bring some things to light. Don't try to fix it on your own. That's what we're here for. We can help you overcome it. The more specific you are with the question, the more specific I can be with the answer. You can't just say, I don't get it. Well, I can't fix that. What don't you get? Because it makes sense to me because I wrote it. If I read it back to myself, it's going to make sense to me. I'm not in your head. I'm not a mind reader. I can't figure out what you can't figure out. So you say, okay, when you posted this, this, and this, does that mean I should, okay, now I get where you're coming from. Okay, that's my point about asking good questions. I am more than willing to help. I will bend over backwards to help. I don't get paid 10 cents for doing these. I don't. It's just because this is the right thing to do to get everyone up to speed and on the right page. So ask. Ask good questions. I'll give you a good, honest answer and solution. And we can fix any of this. This isn't rocket science. Most of what you're going to find goes on is the conflict in your own head. I read this, but, okay, I'm not interested in your but. I'm interested in what the market says. Okay? 10 days green with a 1 lot, go to a 3 lot. 10 days green with a 3 lot, you can consider going live. When you go live with a 1 lot. 10 days green with a 1 lot, you can go to a 3 lot. You make a mistake, and I'm not talking about you take it off and you go home minus a quarter of a point or something. That's not a negative day. That's a flat day. That's just cost of doing business. I mean, when you got multiple points upside down, that's a bad day. Start over. Okay? After you're trading a 3 lot live, stay there for a while. No rush. Because invariably, when people ramp up, they want to ramp up too soon because they're looking backwards, woulda, coulda, shoulda. If I was trading, bigger size, I would have made this much. What does that have to do with the next trade? Nothing. You're going to be trading off of your P&L. Your execution platform is your golf bag. You cannot figure out the next shot by looking into your golf bag. You've got to be looking down course to figure out your next shot. You just need to look at your golf bag when you reach in to grab the right club to make sure you're grabbing the right club, right? Okay, so your execution platform is just to be stared at for the moment that you're clicking to make sure you click in the right spot. It doesn't tell you anything. Close your P&L. You don't learn anything from the bids and asks and size dancing around. That is a cockamamie junior high school juvenile theory. The market lays itself out ahead of time, and we post it at 8 a.m. You learn nothing. In fact, it will hurt you staring at your execution platform. Okay? And then after a while, when it doesn't bother you anymore, then you can ramp up. Go to a 5 or 6 lot, stay there for a while, a couple weeks, maybe a month. Then go to a 9 lot maybe. Stay there for a month or 2. Then go to a 15 lot. Stay there for 2 to 6 months. Then you can go to a 30 lot. So it takes a while. Okay, Earl says, how do you overcome the FIFO problem with 3 lots or more? First in, first out, Earl? You don't wait till it gets there and then think, maybe I should put it on. I don't like to put them on, that's a good point. I don't like to put them on too far in advance. Like if we're 8 points away, I won't put my order in. As it's closing in on it, and I feel confident that we will get there, I will put my order in. Okay, so I'm ahead of time, but not too far ahead of time. Okay, does that make sense? Charles says, how to use trailing line in the sand. Do we take some profit in that line or a new entry position? Well, it's not the same thing as a breakout or a breakdown. For example, we gave this, for example, as a trailing line in the sand. As long as that holds, you can rebuy up against it. But if it's taken out, then we will get a little bit more pullback. That doesn't mean all the way back down. That just means a bit more pullback. It means it's not going to go from there. Later, and it may not even take that. It may go from there again. But, yeah, that's for rebuying up against. But it's sort of an indication that if it's traded through, goes further than that, then it could bring in a bit more selling, in this case, a little bit more pullback. That doesn't mean necessarily it's for sell side. It can turn into sell side. Again, there is no pat answer. Stay away from always or never solutions that you conjure up in your own head. It's usually delineated in the posts, how far it can pull back, if it's just a little bit of a pullback, if the market's going to shake it off, or if there's a bigger pullback scenario brewing that could eventually turn into testing for breakdown or whatever. That's usually mapped out in the posts. Okay, Charles? Good question, but does that make sense? You don't have to have, and I don't want you to have, a pat cookie cutter solution in your head because conditions vary. That's not a breakout or breakdown. It just means if that holds, in this case, these trailing lines were underneath us, right? Over here, we said use 350. What was that pullback low? 350, right? So every one of them held today, except this last one at the end was taken out by an extra tick, and I said, it was probably just kooky stuff in the last hour. How high did we get? So far, still 8. Okay, does that make sense? Charles says, got it. Thanks. You're welcome. Anything else? So I can appreciate your enthusiasm. I can appreciate the wanting more, wanting to accelerate the process, but I'm warning you now, the more you try to go too fast or accelerate the process, it almost always costs 3 times longer in time. And if you're trading live, obviously it's going to cost money. So it's better to take your time on the front end in the tedious, arduous, one-lot demo process as annoying as that is, and it will be, and get it right and own it. And if you pay your dues there and make your ramp up in education, in size, in time, in trading live, in what you expect out of the market, if you make that a gradual slope, a slow ramp up, you'll be much better off than trying to go too fast. Okay? That's all I have on the board. That's all I have for today. We've got a couple reports in the morning. I hope everyone has a good night. My wish is that people get here by 8 a.m. The free trial room closes every night, but it's reopened somewhere between 7 and 7:30 in the morning. It's always open by 7:30 in the morning, so you can log in anytime after that, and I think you should be there with your chart up, a new blank 5-minute chart with no indicators, ready to put some lines on it, maybe have some horizontal lines made ahead of time with a clean sheet of paper. Start taking notes right out of the gate, and so you're in sync and up to speed with the market right out of the gate. No preconceived notions. I can tell you without exception, 99% of the problems you will have will be conjured up inside your own head. Read the posts, or as we like to say, RTFP. Read the posts, because that's what I'm going to ask you. What does it say? Yeah, but I didn't ask you what you thought. I asked you, what does it say? Yeah, but I didn't ask you about your butt. I asked you what it says. Read it back. You can use 1902 for 1908.75 and then use 1904. Okay, where's the problem? But I thought, here we go again. And so I'm saying it now, not to pick on anyone, so that you can already realize where the problem's coming from. The stuff in your head. I didn't put it there. Maybe you didn't put it there, but it's there, and we have to deal with it. The best way to deal with it is to come up with a new set of habits and logic built on trust of the market, logic of the market, and what the market gives us. And if you can get on that page, you'll kill it every day. Okay, Donnie P says, absolutely fascinating, HT. Thanks for the insight and information. Looking forward to tomorrow. Well, I'm very glad to have you, and I'm glad it's making sense for you. As you can see, I'm not this big evil guy that the people that don't get their way make me out to be or try to make me out to be. They're the ones that love to play stompy feet because I won't do things their way. Those are the same people that don't get it and don't make any money and don't want to change. So it isn't me the problem, it's the fact that I'm pointing out the reality of the situation and they just don't want to deal with it. So I'm the easy one to, get angry with. I'm a big boy. I can take it. The reality is the reality. Show me what we missed. Show me what we didn't post. Show me what we didn't describe ahead of time. You can't argue with that. You may not like it. You may not like me, but you can't argue with the facts that the market has laid out, and that's what we try to focus on, okay? So thank you for coming, everyone. Thanks for your time. I appreciate everyone here, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Cock, block, and ready to rock. So have a good night, everybody. We'll see you then. Thanks. Good night.